Past conditional in French or conditionnel passé with FrenchSpanishOnline.com. Le conditionnel passé is very similar to the English tense conditional perfect, as you can see. I would have eaten, would have is here the conditional of the verb to have, and eaten the past participle of the verb to eat. The same thing in French. J'aurais mangé, j'aurais is the conditional of the verb avoir, and manger the past participle of the verb manger. So the same structure, so no difficulty for you to build this tense. Another example, you would have seen. Tu aurais vu, as you can see, again, the same structure. Well, there is one change because you remember that there is a second auxiliary verb in French, the verb to be. We use, for example, like here, with the verb to go. So we would have gone in French is il serait allé. Serait is the conditional of here the verb être and not to have, of course. And aller, the past participle. Well, there is another difficulty here, but you remember, because of the verb to be, there is an agreement between the subject and the past participle. So if you say elle serait allée for she, so you need an agreement, so you need an additional e at the end of the past participle. With plural form, you need an s. So all you need to know actually to be able to build this conditionnel passé is the conditional mode of the verb to have and to be, which are in French, j'aurais, tu aurais, il aurait, elle aurait, on aurait, nous aurions, vous auriez, ils auraient, elles auraient, and être, je serais, tu serais, il serait, elle serait, on serait, nous serions, vous seriez, il serait, elle serait. And that's all. We use le conditionnel passé in French with if sentences, like in English, also to express regret and criticism, like in English, and unverified fact is different. Here we are going to see the point. So first with if sentences. I would have come if I had known it. Well, in French, exactly the same thing. Je serais venu si je l'avais su. Even the second part after if is the same thing. Je serais venu si je l'avais su. We would have eaten if it had been good. Nous l'aurions mangé s'il avait été bon. Again, the same structure here. To express regret, criticism, well, it's just to know actually how to use this mood, because you don't need to know that to understand how to build it, because it's the same thing in English. In your place, I would have talked to him. So in French, perso, je lui aurais parlé. So instead of perso, you can say à ta place or si j'étais toi or something like that. But what we need to know here, the second part, I would have talked to him, je lui aurais parlé. I would have liked to go on a holiday, so here this is a regret because I have no money, so I can't, but I would have liked. So again, j'aurais aimé aller en vacances, mais je n'ai pas d'argent. For unverified facts, this is the mood that journalists loved in French, in France, because they can say a lot of things about something they don't know. For example, apparently he had lied to the court. So in English you need to add the word apparently because you're not very sure. In French you can use le passé conditionnel, le conditionnel passé. Il aurait menti au tribunal, but we don't really know actually, so we use this mood. Il aurait menti au tribunal. Another example, all the passengers have been killed, but if you are not sure, actually in English you can add something like so far, thing like that, all the passengers, or as far as we know, all the passengers have been killed. In French, we are going to use le conditionnel passé, tous les passagers seraient morts, but actually we are not really sure at the moment we are speaking to you. Tous les passagers seraient morts. There is another part that you maybe know because there is a video about the modal verbs on my website, but just to explain actually that the modal verbs act like auxiliary verbs in English, but not in French. So if you want to translate he could have gone, so could here is the auxiliary verb, but in French there is no such verb to translate that. So you need to say il aurait pu y aller. So as you can see here, could become the past participle in French, have the past participle of the English sentence become the auxiliary verb, conditional mood, aurait, and gone is the infinitive. Il aurait pu y aller. To translate, he could have gone. Il aurait pu y aller. Another example, they should have eaten. So here the modal verb is should. Again, we have no such a thing in French, so we will say ils auraient dû manger, and the same thing should become the past participle du, and have, the past participle in English, become the auxiliary verb conditional mood aurait in French, and eaten is the infinitive manger, so er at the end. Okay? So I think now that you know enough to be able to build and use this mood currently in French. If you want to read the script of the lesson, you can go to my website, always is free. C'est fini. Thank you very much for watching these slides with me. See you next time. Au revoir.